All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Zombieland Saga, Season 1, Episode 5.
Well, we had a wonderful turn of events last episode.
Yes, we did. It went full horror for the last, 4 minutes or so.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, indeed. And the poor lady who was, going to be giving them, a pretty sweet deal, potentially, because they did it. The girls did it. They actually pulled it off with the help of some derma.
Yeah, some
applied things.
The chemically induced, boosting of their fans. That is definitely not something that is legal, and disclaimers needed to be placed. Just considered practicing medicine. Apparently.
Right.
So
yes,
yeah. But it was great.
It's their products.
Well, and hey, this is still a step up from retirement homes and things like that.
Oh, it's quite a step up. Yes, indeed.
They're well on their way, and the two idols that have previous experience being idols are now fully on board, so they can start helping them out and everything.
Yep. The trust between the girls has strengthened considerably because of just how much they've done thus far, and seeing just the willingness on our main character Sakura to be able to just go all for this.
I thought you were talking about Tai.
Yes,
because she definitely has the willingness to go.
Yeah,
all
she's
out,
head first, right into everything.
That's right, sucking the marrow out of this experience, sinking her teeth into it. Yeah.
And she has to at some point because she's run out of it from all the other girls. They're completely void of that at this point. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Awesome.
Wow.
Goofy skit-based comedy.
Yep, I love it.
We got a double package. And Kotherow was just phenomenal.
Kotaros was amazing. God,
so good.
I didn't realize just how much I've missed the 2 skits, 1 episode structure, where it's 2 mini episodes within a single episode. I love it.
Fomofu vibes, man.
Yeah,
Fomofu, yep.
Panty and Stocking also does it if we ever get around to watching that show. But yeah, so the fact that we got that here, that was great. I loved it. And the
let's continue.
the humor regarding the whole production side of things, of the idea of okay, we didn't really make any money, so here's another way that we can make money and also sort of get our names out there, right?
Yeah.
Do a commercial. Awesome. Yes. And it seems like this is just straight up an actual business place from Saga, right?
Yeah.
So of course,
same with the event for the mud, derby kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so of course Saki is completely just yes,
I'm both of these things.
Right.
And that's a cool way to basically show that we have continuity with their backstories regarding, not just where they're from, but the kind of things that they've, they would be doing in the past, stuff like that, which means that eventually a lot of their backstories are going to get brought up in this regard, and then there will be some tie-in to the episode's little, story structure. And
no, we already got the tie-in.
Right. Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. They probably wish they could tie her up, but
maybe.
But
I was straight up wondering if they were going to try and gag her or something, just so that she wouldn't say anything during the commercial.
Yeah, but then they brought in the
at the end. Oh my God.
Hey, but she understands then.
Right,
language.
She can take direction. It takes some doing, but it does work, right? And the whole thing of the director being no, we're literally recreating probably a very famous commercial from the company in this anime. We got it. We don't need anything else. But no, we must dig deep into our souls. We must discover the chicken inside all of us and bring it to light on camera.
The crow of a chicken.
Yes.
The whole animation moment for that of the fire-breathing chicken and stuff.
Yep.
God, wow.
See? Look at Tai. She is actually trying to eat that man. That is the kind of energy we want to bring to these commercials, because that's how good the chicken here is.
realistic chicken behavior does end up with chickens, pecking to death the weaker one.
That is true. That is true. Chickens are
vicious
creatures. Yep. But, yeah. And the whole thing of Tai also eating the chicken while it was raw. Great little bit there. The president being like, I mean, it's not that fresh.
Kotaro continuing
oh
his
my
gag
God.
of, no. Ignore the inhumane aspects, or the inhuman aspects of these girls and look into my eyes.
Yeah. Like that. So thank you for bringing that up. So that was like instantly my favorite part of the episode, and yet I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it, and that just speaks to how good this episode was. That thing that was just absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad that that's not just a one-time thing for Kotaro, but it seems to be an ongoing gag, sort of, kind of like the policeman.
There are a couple ongoing gags now.
Grab the chin, look deep into the eyes.
I mean, like Kotaro is in some ways best girl for that respect, because look at the way that he commands attention.
And I'm pretty sure he still had his sunglasses on. Like, I don't think we've ever seen his actual eyes, right?
I have mentioned that multiple times. We have not seen his eyes ever. It is a mystery.
Yep. Who knows? Okay, you and I both actually had a friend that would do that, where they would wear sunglasses, big old sunglasses, all the time. And it was always this mystery of what do their eyes actually look like? And even when we would hang out and it would be like, oh yeah, spending the night at a place or whatever, it'd be like, okay, what? Okay. Sleeping with their sunglasses on.
Not even joking.
Not even kidding. And it was just this thing of what do their eyes look like?
I thought it was kind of dumb. They'd be the equivalent of what's the guy from Oregaru, the Chinibi.
Gotcha.
It was all part of the character in that regard.
Right, yes.
And I did eventually see them without sunglasses.
I did as well, and it was I see.
Yeah, and it's
that's what was
now
underneath.
You see as well.
Right. But so the idea that Kotaro does this, and he's able to do this stare romance, whatever we want to call it. Raw sexuality. Some people just can't help losing sexuality. And does that with sunglasses on. That's rather impressive, because I would think that you would need to have that eye to eye connection potentially, but I guess not.
Carnal mystery of just knowing that he's
what's
able to pierce your
underneath.
Soul.
Right.
The imagination does the rest. And also he's confident and loud and brash and over the top, so that's got to help as well.
Quite.
But then we get to our mud derby, and we have, I would say, probably one of the most enjoyable moments of the episode as a whole, in that, yes, they are zombies in makeup. So when they go out there, what's their main reason for being here? Well, we get involved with the town, and then when we're out here, we'll find some way to link things back to our, Franchosho, group.
Exactly.
But the issue with that is that they're going to get covered in mud.
Right.
And I love that immediately we're able to know, then this is the problem of, if they ever clean off the mud.
Yeah, clean off the mud.
Then they got
quick, back in the mud.
And they get cones on their heads and jump back into the mud.
I loved the huddle of them all just being okay, hold on, what do we do?
And they found a solution rather quickly.
They did.
But all the ways in which they tried to use the characters and their little minor differences to showcase how they would do each of the competitions.
Yes.
And once we saw them on the bikes, I was like, oh my God, this is where there's going to be these weird standout performances from certain individuals. And I love that Yugiri didn't even know how to work a bike, so she just immediately goes under there. But then in the rope one, she full on gets fives all across.
Yeah.
By not even jumping. She's just using the rope to do
crazy dances and stuff,
the ballet, gymnastics kind of stuff and things like that. Yeah.
Yep. And it was great. It was great. I loved it. I loved that Saki was on two wheels. No one can stop me. Went right in.
Lasted 2 seconds.
Yep. Tai. Oh, she goes off quickly, but she keeps pedaling while in the mud.
Right, she doesn't wipe out like everyone else. She just kind of...
Yep. I love it. And you know, who is it? Lily? Yeah, just being like, I'm going to use the fact that I am a very small person to wind myself up in the rope to just, you know,
go flying.
Yeah, I love it.
And I love that they actually used kind of the physics of what would be necessary to go the farthest, in that Tai Yamada basically ends up
turns it into
taking
a swing.
The whole thing into a swing.
Yeah.
So using more momentum than there actually would be possible from just dropping. Because the dropping would have a point where you would have the rope get taut, and then you would need to be at the very tip of it to make that taut kind of stretch part be as little as possible so you get some swing. But she did that after swinging it like this for a whole bunch, and then ended up getting flung so far that her body parts just go everywhere.
Just fall off. And then,
like,
of course...
before she even hits. Like,
oh, yeah. And I love that they aren't fully sure what happened because okay, the whole thing of, like, if people see something that is so utterly alien and sort of reality-breaking as a living zombie, they don't immediately think that's a zombie. Their mind is like, it's got to be anything else, right?
You try to fill in the blanks.
Right, because zombies don't exist. So they see the limbs go flying, and the person's just like, I'm not sure what there's the sun and mud. What happened exactly? Yeah. And then they just go in quickly, and they you know, put the limbs back on.
Right, because they can't differentiate the limbs in the mud, because it's all mud. It's just...
yeah, exactly. And then, of course, the people that see this, they're just like, her teammates, they are so moved by this performance that they're running out to their friend.
Yeah.
Isn't that just wonderful, everybody? Not actually realizing what was going on.
Exactly.
And I love that the cop was here for all of this. Like, I was expecting him to at some point be like, wait a minute, it's you. And then try and
they gave that to another character. They gave that role to another character. A new guy who seems to be kind of a successful-looking, like, middle-aged guy.
Yeah,
or he's just a random guy.
I got the feeling that he was someone that was sort of, like, big enough or in circles where he would need to scout talent, basically. You know?
Oh, sure.
And so hence the whole thing of like the binoculars and the watching and all that stuff. It's like, oh, is there someone else that you're thinking like, you know, like you could grab and basically be like, hey, I can turn you into a star kind of a thing.
Sure, like he works for a modeling agency.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And if he is one of those types of people, it would make sense that he would remember some of these idols, especially if they were, say, solo and if they were very successful, because you know about, you know, things like that and something close to your industry, right?
Right. I've had little funny moments like that though, where I've seen a friend of mine, she was like really, really cute, like high school, and I was like 17 or something like that. She was like 5'9", like 5'8.5" or something like that. And like almost immediately, like when she turned 18 or something like that, I'm pretty sure she was brought into a modeling agency to perform and stuff like that. Those guys could be like,
damn,
it's almost a little creepy,
right? And there was
like he's got binoculars,
right, exactly. Well, and that's also something that I feel like this show doesn't go deep on, but sort of brings up as like part of the
meta humor,
tongue-in-cheek comedy, sort of.
Some of the odd things about the idol,
right?
Industry.
Like even in the OP, how it shows them as zombies and Power Rangers and doing all this crazy stuff, but then it shifts into, all right, they're perfect idols. They're walking down all prim and proper down the hallway, not even really moving much, just sort of, you know, like stepping.
I
am a doll, right? You know, and so those kinds of things feel like it's adjacent, and then with the stuff like with the filming and everything, that also different kind of meta humor, you know, but it feels very similar in that sort of vein.
Totally.
But yeah, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with that guy, but that could be a cool way to having like overarching semi-linear narrative that goes beyond just this idol group.
Yeah, he seemed to focus on Junko specifically. And Junko is probably the one that would have the largest reputation that people
like
could
singular
recognize.
For a singular person.
Right, because I was a part of an idol group, and she might have been the leader of the idol group, so she was more recent in people's minds in that regard. But we don't know exactly how long Sakura was dead before she woke up.
Right.
So
I think it was maybe I think 10 years was something that I heard.
It might be something like that. I might have just forgotten. But this guy being older, though.
And she's from the 80s.
And she's from the 80s, meaning that it might also be a nostalgia thing.
Right.
Where he's used to seeing a lot of girls of like a specific kind of age or what have you, like with regards to whatever he's scouting for. But maybe Junko is one that maybe is like, oh, when I was a kid...
Yeah, one of the
she
things
was the one that inspired me to like get into down this career path. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Especially since she was a solo idol, meaning that the spotlights would all be on her initially. But yeah, I love how Saki was so passionate this episode. It felt like they were giving kind of that extra focus to an individual character to basically legitimize the plot for the skits. And thus it led to her kind of doing the excessively loud bowing and the pumped up with Kotaro, and everyone else was like, huh? You know?
Yeah, like, so Kotaro as a character is great. As a force within the plot, he serves his purpose very well. He keeps things moving along quickly because he's got so much dramatis persona that how can we possibly argue with him when he says that there's something they need to do? But in case there was any element of argument about what they were going to do next, you have their leader, Saki, just be like, oh my god, yeah, this is the best.
This is going to be amazing.
This is going to be amazing.
Yes.
And then there we go, we're along for the ride. And I love that contradiction of the rough and tough, like, oh yeah, we would raise hell and then we'd come back here and relax and get the number one with the side of lettuce, you know, God, going from that to, like, I love it.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Also, I liked that for the first time, Kotherow has been now like excessively like in their face and forceful with all of his trying to hype them up for their jobs specifically, or trying to like, you know, belittle them. You dimwit
Step
zombies.
Up your game.
Yeah, they are now hitting back and chucked the baseball at his upper thigh there, and he's just like oh, and his little thing
dirt.
He's like, if you don't take care of these fields, eventually they'll just be destroyed. And he's just like,
I don't even get a lot of the stuff that he does. Like, I'm sure.
I know I can tell you why the dirt one is a thing. It's a baseball thing because the dirt is specifically going to be around the diamond, hopefully. But then when you look at the grass of like the outfield and the infield part specifically, you don't want the dirt getting on there because it takes a lot of effort to go and fix the grass.
Gotcha.
That's why that was a thing.
Okay, I thought it was maybe something of like sweeping it off of like the plates or something like that, or like.
Yeah, that is something you can do as well, but you wouldn't really care as much about that.
It's more just like, okay, brush it off a bit so you can see that the plate is right there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's more just for it's that him, I want to take care of Saga. Right. But also if he's like, our Saga fields are kind of shit, so I just want to have them last as long as possible because we don't have money to like, fix up a turf field or something like that, or even if some of it's actual grass.
It might be. I wouldn't be surprised, but like. It's something where he brings so much energy to it, where even if I don't fully understand the references and stuff that he's making,
the French,
yeah, but oh my god,
it's like a basic grocery store baguette, too.
Yeah, I mean, it looked delicious, like,
yeah, sure,
like
sure.
It did look pretty good, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
There's just so much energy to it. How can I possibly say no?
Yeah, but all right. I want more of this.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get some focus on Junko next episode.
Probably.
We'll get some
get
stuff
the feeling.
With regards to maybe just both of the idol girls specifically kind of being like, we recognize, we don't know who he is specifically, but we recognize this style of person.
And maybe we could use this somehow.
Maybe.
Like, but this is dangerous territory because he might discover that we're zombies.
Right. They might have to forge like a new identity or something, or like prove that she's like
I'm a big fan of hers, like.
Yeah, so I like style my hair that way or something. I do my makeup that way.
Exactly. You can do so much with makeup.
So much with makeup.
So much.
Yes, that line has to be used. That line has has to be used. Oh my god. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob there about a sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. Wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It's super awesome, cool. Links in the description. But we also have a Twitch. It's on it's at 3 p.m. Pacific time from Monday to Friday. Mondays podcast, Tuesdays One Piece manga readings, Wednesdays and Fridays Caleb does gaming, which is Hades. Yep. And then Thursdays I do gaming, which right now is Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, so check that out, and if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.